Hi, everyone, from the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center. Meteorologist Ethan Emery here for our Friday edition of our 7:15 weather streaming show. Usually it's Steve Horsemeyer, but for the next several Fridays, I'm filling in for him for 7:15 and for the late shows. And of course, we've got a lot of high school football coverage tonight, so our newscast will be about 1 hour roughly at 10 o'clock. And of course, we'll got all the sports crew giving you all the highlights of the high school games in just moments. I want to show you this first. Beautiful structure of a thunderstorm cloud. This particular cloud is over towards, I believe this is Max. Actually, no, take that back. I'm trying to remember where this is. This might be the cell that's over towards Glencoe. I believe this is the cell that's moving down towards Glencoe. Let me try to move the camera real quick because we are looking at a lot of cells popping up, and it's just kind of the nature of the atmosphere we have going on. So what we've got is a lot of outflow boundaries, these lines of gusty winds, and they can easily trigger thunderstorms, especially when you have an atmosphere as hot as this one is. So what we're going to do now is move the camera over. Still got dry air here, but there is the cell. This is the one that's over towards, I believe, towards Max South and Addiston, is what this particular cloud is here. Yes, that is the case. Okay, just wanted to get that clear here real quick before we move on. So we're tracking those, and while Steve was on the air for the 5 and 6, I've been updating the reds, which is a lot of work. And that work is pinpointing exactly the timing of rain, the timing of winds, all of those things that the grounds crews need to know for the game to continue, or if they have to delay it, which right now doesn't appear to be the case. But Steve will be giving them an update soon, and when he sends out a text to the reds, I'll let you know here too, our little secret. So right now, of course, it is hot out there still, 89 degrees, and it's 7:20 here this hour. And what we're going to do now is let's take a look at some of the storm reports, because we have had a couple of reports of damage, and this map does not reflect all of that damage, but it certainly has a couple of spots that did see some trees down, things of that nature from those winds. So first what we'll do is zoom in here over towards Norwood Heights and Gulf Manor. And this actually happened right when I came into work. But this was a tree down, and it was, again, thunderstorm wind damage. This is from the Cincinnati emergency manager that reported that damage. Again, this is over towards Gulf Manor, near Ridge Avenue, a large tree that had fallen down. We also have wind damage report over here towards Pendleton County. So once that loads, yeah, a tree down. I was blocking County Road 154 there in northern Kentucky. Again, this was in Pendleton County near the community of Foster. And then what's not on the map is there were some reports of damage over towards Cleves from what very likely appeared to be another microburst or a collapsing thunderstorm, and it grew up real quick and it collapsed real quick, and that allowed for some strong wind gusts. And I saw some reports, but that's not here on this map, obviously, right now. One thing I do want to show you, though, is the latest on radar. We do have a couple of areas with showers and thunderstorms. We'll begin here in Hamilton County, a couple of spots. Of course, a lot of lightning, too. But over towards Sims Township, this activity here, over towards Loveland, towards Milford. So my garden's getting a little bit of rain, or it's about to get some rain. This has been moving. Let me go ahead and do the last 30 minutes. So you can see it is weakening. So this is part of an outflow that's ahead of this, but this line, it's going a little too fast. Let's slow this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So you can see its motion. It's moving to the east, but it is weakening. With that, it could still redevelop stuff right behind it, just the nature of these outflow boundaries. So this evening, still looking at a pop-up chance for a shower or storm. but it's going to be very isolated in nature. We also have this cell here, which is making its way closer towards downtown. Now, that being said, it is showing signs of weakening, and it is going over a hill, so it might strengthen a little bit towards Covedale, but as it gets closer to downtown, it may weaken again. Kind of the nature of cells that move in from the west to the east in Cincinnati when they're of this nature, which is something I've learned over time helping with the Reds forecast, just because as a meteorologist, you got to know not only the atmospheric conditions, but also geography. You got to know the hills. You got to know how they're going to interact with cells and thunderstorms. Speaking of which, we also have some thunderstorms here over right along the edge of Gallatin County, so towards the Glencoe community. Napoleon, actually probably seeing kind of the remnants of some of those showers towards Monk, Kentucky. Kentucky Route 467, US 127, over into northern portions of Owen County and into northwestern portions of Grant County. And a lot of heavy rain with this. And these storms, they have not messed around with the heavy rain and the strong winds. We told you about that yesterday. And, of course, information on our website at fox19.com/weather also had that. But we are continuing to see that threat here at least until sunset. Once we go after sunset, we could still see some development of pop-up showers and storms. However, the threat for them being strong does diminish because they don't have as much heat to work with, because these storms develop in a conducive atmosphere because of just how hot it was. In fact, today we did break a record. I believe the record was back in 1898. Let me go ahead and confirm that real quick. And that record was 96 degrees. So let me see that real quick. Hey, I was right. So the high today was 98 after breaking the old record of 96 back in 1898. So definitely hot. No doubt about it. The heat wave, fortunately, does come to an end after today. So we are looking at some shower and storm chances going into the weekend, portions of our Labor Day weekend. And we'll show that here real quick, but before we do that, let's take a look at our Facebook comments and questions. We are live wherever you stream, but we can only listen to you, answer questions on Facebook right now. Eventually be on YouTube as well, but right now it's limited to just Facebook. But I do have it on both the Fox 19 Facebook page and my Facebook page, and I will be happy to answer any comments or questions. Pat says, Mac, lots of rain. Yes, that area I was watching for the Reds did get hit with a couple rounds of showers and storms. Sarah says, got a couple of big boomers we heard in the distance here in Mount Healthy. Hope you're having a good evening. You as well, Sarah. Yeah, so these storms, a lot of frequent cloud or ground lightning can be associated with these storms. And remember, if you do hear thunder, you want to go inside. Molly says, hello, Ethan. We had wind damage in Pleasant Plain out by Stone Lick Lake. Power is out. Molly, if you don't mind answering, do you mind telling us what your electric provider is? Because what I'm going to do real quick, I want to show it on this computer to pull it up, but our technology is limited after last weekend's power outage. But what I can do is look out that way and see if it's localized or widespread. Bethel has some outages. There are some outages over towards 9 Mile Road between Cherry Grove and Withamsville. And there's a lot of outages still over towards Munford Heights. That area was where a thunderstorm was, and it did show signs of collapsing. So there could be some damage up there as well. Now, of course, we don't know unless people tell us if there's damage in their backyard. We don't have eyes everywhere. That's just kind of the nature of it. But if you do have damage, let us know. If you have photos that you can safely take, you can send those to us at fox19.com/pics. But otherwise, I can only give you information that I have access to. So I don't have access to all the damage reports because we just don't have them yet. But if you do have damage, really helpful to let us know. But thank you, Molly. I don't know what your electric provider is. I didn't see anything out there particularly on Duke Energy, but of course, Duke Energy is not the only electric provider here in the Fox 19 Now viewing area. Susan, no rain for Blanchester again. I'm just so bummed that we didn't get it again. Fingers crossed. I want to go back really quickly here on radar before we go into the model data. That cell that's over towards Sims Township, though it is weakening, it could bring an additional pop-up. I can't rule it out. The nature of these things, they are kind of sporadic. In fact, it is weakening a bit more, but if it holds itself together, it could make its way towards Blanchester. Now, that being said, the odds aren't great. It's not zero, but it's not great. But fingers crossed, if you're in Blanchester, you might see this redevelop possibly over the next 30 minutes or so. But behind this, I don't foresee some activity for you folks for at least a little bit. Cindy says, quiet at the moment in Lebanon. Susan says, bad power surges turning electric off and on. Susan, if you don't mind telling me, where is your location? That way I can, understand a little bit more. I'm going to assume you're either in Sims Township or Milford, Goshen area, or you're over towards Addiston or towards Green Township out this way. Those are areas that are seeing some thunder and lightning. Or you could be down here in northern Owen and Grant counties and southern Gallatin counties, Napoleon, Glencoe, seeing quite a light show there right now. Diane, very misinformed. That is false. Completely false. I'm not going to even acknowledge your comment because that is just highly inaccurate. Tammy, Lebanon storms. No, the odds for Lebanon are even more slim than Blanchester. So most of us that are staying dry are going to remain dry. However, the cells that are developing, if you live east of these cells, you have a shot of seeing something develop with it, though admittedly it's not great. So it's kind of the unfortunate thing. We had the peak heating, we had that moisture, but the temperature's beginning to go down a little bit. That's going to limit the storm development from being any more widespread than what it was earlier. Brenda says, Crittenden's been watching it go around us for weeks. I know that's the unfortunate thing with our weather pattern is any rain chances we have had, it's been a lot of rain, but a short duration and very localized. And I wish I could tell you some better news, but that's just kind of the situation here with this weather pattern today. And after tomorrow does have better odds for widespread rain. That does look like a positive thing for folks who need rain. The bad thing is that after tomorrow, we're looking pretty dry for an extended period of time. Thomas says Ripley got hit hard with a lot of wind. Yeah, earlier there was a strong thunderstorm towards Mason County, and it did bring in some strong wind gusts with that. Thank you, Thomas, for sending that report. Molly says Duke Energy. I looked at their map. I didn't quite see it, but it could be something specific to your neighborhood. But thank you for letting me know that. Appreciate it. Debbie Wave. Hi, Debbie. Molly said lots of tree branches down out there towards Stone Lake. Yeah, these storms, again, like we've been saying the last couple of days, any storm could bring in a strong gust of wind as well as torrential downpour. So that's just kind of how this has been developing. The worst part about these storms is that they don't have a lot of motion with them because there's no wind shear to work with, or winds as you go higher up moving faster or different directions in terms of where it can carry these storms or help these storms grow and be more widespread. These cells are just developing because you get just the right amount of humidity, right amount of heat to work with, and of course there is some storm energy or CAPE values that do develop during the day, and it's just enough to where these things can fire up. But they're only driven by when they fall apart. And unfortunately with that, with how hot it's been and how much rain is associated with these storms, they kind of go all over the place, as you probably have seen. And when I say all over the place, they kind of sporadically go one way or the other, but they're very localized. That's just kind of the nature of these storms. Leela says Gallatin County getting hit with a lot of lightning. Electric is flickering on and off. Yeah, that storm has a lot of lightning with it. I would not be surprised to see the potential for some local power outages out that way. So thank you, Leela, for sharing that. Crystal says, you skipped me, bro. I didn't see your comment. Of course, on Facebook, it's hard on here because it tends to jump around every once in a while if people comment a lot. Robin says, I hope it does rain. I love thunderstorms. A lot of folks need the rain. Hey, there you are, Crystal. Springfield, Ohio, because you need rain. Well, unfortunately, I got to say that Springfield looks dry. In fact, only a slim chance for a shower or storm tonight with better odds of storms for tomorrow. And I'll show you that model data here in a moment. We're all caught up on the Fox 19 Facebook page. Now I got to look at my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX just to assure that I'm not missing any questions that could be needing to be answered. No comments or questions there. All right, we will go ahead and continue. And by the way, this storm down here in Grant County and Gallatin County, I believe, just got what we call a special weather statement. And basically what that means is that it's a strong thunderstorm. It's not quite at severe limits, but it is definitely on the stronger. Okay, just a second. Let's go ahead and fix this really quick. Jeez Louise. Anything. Oop. There we are. Okay, so over towards Dry Ridge, Crittenton area, this storm could have wind gusts with it up to 45 miles per hour. And this storm, let me look at the velocity on it real quick. Let's do that. Let's turn off that. Turn off the lightning, and let's make sure this is here. All right. Okay, so the storm is right here towards Napoleon or Glencoe. I'm not worried, by the way. I'm not worried about any kind of tornado development. That's not why I have velocity here. I want to watch to see if this storm is showing any signs of collapsing. So it's blown up. Green is towards CVG. Red is away. Does not show signs of collapsing yet, which that's a good thing to see. However, the nature of these storms could very easily be the case. But it's still there. A lot of rain, a lot of lightning down there over towards northern Grant, northern Owen, and southern Gallatin counties. Nikki says, I live on the Westchester, Mason, Sharonville line. Poured really hard 2 different times, about an hour apart. Second round came with a lot of lightning and high winds. Some branches down, but no damage. Good to see no damage. Hopefully you enjoyed the rain. But again, that's just how the nature of how these storms have been playing out here today. Joshua says, will we have rain in the morning? There's a chance for it in the morning. And Darren's also asking about significant rainfall. But let's look at the model data, because that's what I want to show. Because, to be quite honest, I haven't had a chance to look at this too in depth, because the moment I walked in, Steve had to get ready for the 5 o'clock newscast. I had to inform the Reds, and because it's towards the end of the year and because this is a doubleheader game, this game could not be made up very easily, so we have to ensure that they're able to find a way to get this game in. So tonight, we have the potential for some pop-up showers and storms, kind of like how it's been today. The difference is that tonight, I don't suspect it to be quite as strong as it has been today, simply because it is going to be a little bit limited because of the heating. But I need to say that any storm tonight could bring in a good heavy downpour. And this is going to be with us through the overnight hours, but it's only isolated. Most places will not see rain tonight, but a few places will. And those that see it will get a good downpour. Now we go into Saturday morning. Saturday morning looks dry for most of the tri-state. Saturday around the lunch hour, I'm thinking after between 10 and 11 a.m., will we see more development, a bit more widespread, begin to move in. And you'll see here, 1, 2 o'clock. There you have it, a lot more activity. And yes, this does include folks towards Lebanon and towards Springfield. It also includes everybody. Everybody has the chance to see some good downpours and showers and storms, more widespread than today. And that's why in the 7-day forecast, I put pop-up chance for today because that was kind of the case, but tomorrow it's scattered, it's more widespread. And they are popping up, mind you, but this is ahead of a cold front, so there's more forcing to work with for these storms to have better rain odds. And this is Saturday at around 1 o'clock or so, 2, 3 o'clock, you can see here. And notice a lot of areas of orange, red, even purple, indicating some heavy downpours with this. So localized flooding, I can't rule it out for tomorrow. Potential for strong winds, I can't rule it out for tomorrow. Maybe some small hail, also can't rule it out. Now, could we see tornadoes? No. I don't have much confidence in that happening. And in fact, I'm confident that it's not going to happen. Let's put it that way. Just because of the fact that these storms are going to have some motion with them being ahead of the cold front, but these storms are going to have a lot more to work with regards to rain and straight line damaging wind threats. So this is Saturday afternoon. You can see a lot of places seeing rain, a lot of places that really need to see the rain that are under extreme drought conditions. And this continues until Saturday evening. And Saturday evening, activity begins to dwindle. And then Saturday night, can't rule out a few lingering showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. And then Sunday morning, look at that, drier air works in. Temperature's still warm, but, and this model is a little bit hot when it comes to the temperatures, but notice that Sunday looks dry. And I do want to show another model just to confirm this with you. So tomorrow, for those of you who need the rain, who are asking, you haven't seen the rain and you want to see the rain, tomorrow is your best shot. And I want to say that it's your best shot for a while, and you'll see here in a moment. So this model, we go into tonight. Again, a pop-up chance tonight. Can't rule it out. Tomorrow, though, from between 10 and 11 a.m. through the afternoon, widespread activity. And that widespread activity, anyone could see a torrential downpour, strong winds. Not a first start weather day for severe activity. Will a couple of storms be strong? I think so. Just because we're working with a front moving in, and that front's going to have a little bit of more energy to work with compared to today. We go into Saturday evening, Saturday night. There's the front passing through. Sunday morning, I'm looking at the data, and I'm going to introduce maybe a morning chance for some showers on Sunday morning, mainly for areas east and south of I-71. Again, this is Sunday morning. And I had a hunch on that yesterday, but I wasn't confident enough to put it on the 7-day. I'm going to tonight. We go into Sunday afternoon. Drier air works in, and this is part of the front. And then look at this. Labor Day, Monday, we're dry. We're dry Tuesday. We're dry Wednesday. Ooh, hold on. This is new. Like I said, I haven't a chance to look at stuff too in depth because of working with the Reds. So this is Thursday night and Friday. Hey, that'd be good. Granted, this is one model run. So the end of next week, for those of you who really need the rain, you might see it. I need to look at the data a bit further to analyze it more, but we do have the opportunity to maybe see some showers. This goes all the way until the next weekend, which, hey, look at that. That looks nice. Again, I need to look at the data a bit more further in depth, but for those of you who might want some encouragement, there you have it. So hopefully that happens. I'm hoping it happens. We need to see the end of the drought. So Darren asking about significant rainfall. Well, for tomorrow, the term significant is relative. And I will say that tomorrow, I think there'll be better odds to see more places see the good downpours that could alleviate some drought conditions. Will it be for everyone? No. It's just not going to be the case. But some places tomorrow could see a heavy downpour that could bring in more than a half an inch of rain, which would be welcome for most of the tri-state. Nikki said the grass needs it. Absolutely. I was walking in from Milford, and my goodness, the grass was very crunchy. Molly says our pond is finally getting a good fill up. We need the rain. Absolutely. Darren says, let's hope so. Keep our fingers crossed because we need it. Yes. And so that's something I'll be analyzing for the 10 o'clock newscast tonight, and I will update that here in just a little bit because, you know, if there is rain chances going into the end of next week into next weekend, that will be welcome. So our 7-day forecast here, we go ahead and put this up full screen, that way you can see it. There we are. There's the 7-day forecast. We've got the Reds game tomorrow. We got the FC Cincinnati match tomorrow. Scattered storms. If you're going to be heading to those events, make sure you bring some rain gear. Good idea to do so. And also be keeping in mind there could be some thunder and lightning associated with those storms. So if you do hear thunder, you want to go inside. And then Sunday, I'm going to introduce the chance for maybe a morning shower on Sunday. But Sunday evening for Riverfest and for the fireworks, I think we're looking pretty good. Labor Day, of course, looks mild, a high of 81 with some sunshine, keeping things dry at least right now through Thursday. There's some questions. You just saw it with me. We watched it together. Maybe some rain chances at the end of next week. And mind you, when I was filling in last week, I did notice that in the models, but we took it away because models were looking a lot drier, but now it's coming back. Let's hope. Let's hope that's the case. Pray for rain. So there are some additional reports of damage coming in. So somebody was mentioning Ripley. Let's go back. Ripley, no power, according to Thomas. And that's an area that probably had a microburst. Microbursts today have been all over the place. I've seen at least 4 on radar. And this one could be the 5th one. And why did the microburst happen? Well, it's because, as I was mentioning earlier, there's not a lot of forcing to move these storms. There's no what we call shear to move these storms. They're only moving based on what's happening near the surface. Those gust fronts, those outflow boundaries we call them. That's what's moving these storms. But otherwise, the reason why these storms are creating what we call microbursts is because they have nowhere to go and they build up real quick, and then once it drains itself, it collapses really quick. And you got to think of all the energy that's within that thunderstorm, and it comes down, and it's straight line wind damage, but it comes into a circular area. People often mistake them for tornadoes, like what happened in Alexandria and what happened yesterday in, where was it yesterday? My days are all mixed up. I'm trying to remember where it was yesterday. But regardless, the areas that have seen damage reports from microbursts, people often think it's a tornado when it's not. The damage is similar to that, but it's not. Regardless, damage is damage. You don't want to see, folks' property get damaged, but yeah. Okay, bad news for, I forget who it was asking about Blanchester. Could be a gust of wind for you coming up very shortly. If not, it's already passed. Maybe a few sprinkles. That's all the radar is showing right now. And the rain that's to the west of Cincinnati, over towards Green Township, Munford Heights, that cell is weakening a lot. But the cell that's still pretty strong is over here towards Napoleon, Northern Grant County, Northcutt. In fact, what I want to do right now is look at rainfall according to Doppler radar. And this is probably going to be a little high. So let's go ahead and change this real quick to the last 3 hours. Watch me work in real time. Okay, still that little green dot there. So radar estimating in the last 3 hours, this is probably likely the last hour, that portions of northern Grant County have seen more than 2 inches of rain. So got to be on the lookout for some localized flooding up towards northern Grant County. Specifically, over towards Napoleon. Let's go and zoom in a little bit more. Zion Station, Elliston, Folsom, Kentucky. Monk. You got somebody asking about Monk earlier. So looking at some heavy rainfall there over the last couple of hours. But yeah, that's what's happening on radar right now. All right, folks are asking about, oh, thank you, David. VV, Indiana. That's what it was. I understand out the email. Now it clicked. Yeah, so Wednesday it was Alexandria, Thursday it was VV, and today it's been several locations. It was Cleves. Hold on, the computer's running slow. Cleves, potentially Ripley, Pleasant Plain, I believe. A couple more spots. I'm doing a bunch of things at once, so I apologize for being a little off. Right now, temperatures, they are into the low to mid 80s. People are asking about dew points, so I need to do this now before I forget about that. So dew points right now still very, very muggy. Dew points will go down Sunday morning. So it's going to be another humid day tomorrow, but it won't be as hot tomorrow. Okay, enough on that. We got to focus back on what's happening on radar. Folks are asking about that. Yeah, Pleasant Plain looks pretty dry. Could be a few sprinkles towards Harlan Township, maybe towards Goshen, but nothing more than that at this point. But yeah, right now the only thunderstorm activity is in northern Grant County. Now it looks like some development over towards Mason, Kentucky. That is in southern Grant County, south of Williamstown. So more activity, and that looks to be generally moving to the east. And try to... It's not moving very fast, but it is making its way towards Dry Ridge right now, towards Williamstown, and then also towards Dothan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So yeah, tomorrow we'll do one last look at the forecast model, the 7-day forecast, and then I have to get the forecast updated because working with the Reds is a lot of work, and had to get stuff ready for the 10 o'clock newscast tonight. All right, the Reds game looks fine with regards to the weather because that cell that was off to the north and west has died, and Steve just informed the Reds. So good news. Do a lot of things here at Fox 19. Okay, enough of the chit-chat. Let's go ahead and focus now on the forecast model here. So this is for tonight. So again, a pop-up shower or storm can't be ruled out for tonight into early Saturday morning. However, I think Saturday morning most of us will be dry. After 10 a.m., I think we're looking at some development of showers and storms, and this will be widespread Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. And yes, there is a threat for some stronger activity. Strong wind gusts, very heavy rain, some small hail associated with some of these storms for tomorrow. There's more forcing to work with. This is ahead of a cold front. So tomorrow, keep an eye out for the potential for a few stronger storms. Saturday night, the storm activity begins to come to an end. A few lingering showers can't be ruled out for your Sunday morning, but Sunday afternoon, in fact, right when Riverfest starts, looking dry, going to stay dry for the fireworks and for Labor Day. So here's that 7-day forecast one more time. We'll go ahead and show you that, and then we'll hop off of here. That way we can get updated the 7-day forecast and then get stuff ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. So here you have it. Saturday's high, 84. Sunday, 86, partly cloudy. Labor Day, 81 with some sunshine. Tuesday in the upper 70s with partly cloudy skies. Some sunshine for your Wednesday and Thursday. Some question marks, though, for Thursday and Friday with the threat for maybe some rain, which would be welcome by any stretch. But temperatures look to be near normal into the mid-80s with lows in the low 60s. Belinda Oh, Jeff, sorry, I missed your comment. Jeff asking about tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow the threat for some showers and storms, widespread. Could be a couple of stronger ones that can't be ruled out. Belinda saying pool tomorrow is still good. I would say no. I would plan on pool day being Sunday if you can. Saturday, you might get away with being in the pool for a little bit, but there will be some numerous showers and storms in the afternoon, or midday in the afternoon, that is, and that could rain on you during the pool. And also thunder and lightning. You can't really joke around with that kind of stuff. That's all the comments and questions on the Fox 19 Facebook page. Again, I'm going to update the 7-day forecast, and I will give you that update tonight at 10 o'clock here on Fox 19, and we'll have an update very soon on fox19.com/weather. Have a good evening, everybody, and have a happy Labor Day weekend.